Good afternoon, everyone. This is Don. This message is going out to our annual and as well as our monthly members, just to give you an idea of some of the testing that we will be doing or that we're constantly doing. We've been working on a strategy called SMC Mod K that many of you know of. And in particular, we were really zeroed in on the notion or the concept of a tiered trailer. A tiered trailer as shown here. What is a tiered, and it's a tiered percent trailer. How does it work? The idea is that when your account gets up $100 and you have it set at 90%, if it trails back 90% and breaks even, it'll take you out. If you go up 200 and it trails back 50%, if it's set in this fashion, it'll take you out. And if it trails up $300 and trails back 25%, it will take you out. Now you can also do something creative. I mean, you can do any number of these, but our built-in option on the Mod K gives you this capacity, and it also gives you another capacity, which I'm about to explain in a moment. You could also put a profit target up here. We're just trying to show you schematically, and you could even put a break even down here. Now, one of the things that we noticed was that this tiered trailer appeared to be awfully noisy, particularly on advanced bar types. So we have rewritten the code. So I do want you to know. So we had something called a chandelier trailer. We're calling this a tiered trailer because we have rewritten the code. Many times there's, half a dozen or infinite ways to go about something, and so we have learned, and we think that we have, with Susan's help, have improved the code tremendously. But what we did was also to create an alternative. This here on this chart, which is running the MNQ 10 micros, it's firing intra-bar. So if it goes up $100, your account, and it comes down to 10, regardless whether or not a box is closed or not, it's going to exit. Okay. Now that may seem like an advantage, but we were observing, Chris was observing with us over the last couple of weeks, said, Don, that tiered trailer has a tendency to be, looks a little noisy to me. I'm not sure about it. And so we were seeing what he was seeing as well. Susan has always liked trailers. I haven't worked with them nearly as much, but I have over the last couple of weeks. So what we did was to write a code that doesn't use the intra-bar function. It uses closes. But it's doing virtually the same thing, but it requires a close, to put it simply. And it's going to fall under the category of what we call the smart exits, because all of the smart exits require closes. Now they also have an AI function to them, but they do require a close. They do not function intra-bar. So on a advanced bar type like Rinko, they're going to be very similar, but they're not going to appear to be quite as noisy. And the question was, well, which is better? So this is what we set up to do today. It's just one example, right? So we want to be careful about taking a 1 day's result and extrapolating it to everything, right? And to all charts and everything. It's just a very 1 day sample. But I also want to share with you what we're doing, what it is, how we went about it, and then how we go about testing it, what it might look like. So what we did was, over here, we set up an environment where we had the smart tiered trailer over here, where it's working on closes, 1 NQ. Everything else was turned off, all the other options turned off, and the settings to the Mod K strategy, we use the default settings. Right? We really weren't that interested in an outcome, but we wanted to set up over here the exact same leverage and it was 10 micros. The exact same default settings, only this one is running the tiered, the traditional trailer, firing intra-bar. And we wanted to compare the result to see what we could see. So we didn't try to optimize the frequency of the length, and we started this at noon today. We ran this one in the morning, and it did very well. Just having the tiered trailer alone, it did close to $1,000. So you can see, and we turned this on at noon, and we just shut it off. But I'm going to show you and everyone the internals of this. But at a glance, the NQ actually did 205. It was much higher than that, but it ended the day at 205. The exact same, setup. Now, sometimes the trades would go in a little quicker on one side or the other, and that might have to do with the liquidity or illiquidity maybe of micros, maybe not quite as liquid. But the MNQ lost 904. 904. So what I'm going to do is open up a trade manager analysis so we can look at this, and let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so we have our trade manager analysis, and we want to look at first only the NQ. So we come in here and we put in NQU22, and we add, hit OK, and we generate a report for today. And it shows here that we did 164. So we actually did a little bit better in the account than in the trade manager analysis. Usually it matches right to the penny, so I'm not sure what that's about. But here it shows the profit factor of 1.17. It's profitable, narrow. Again, not trying to demonstrate, wasn't really seeking an outcome. I just wanted to set up a comparative look, and we set up one control over here and set up another control over here and compare the two results over the same period of time, albeit a very small sample, one afternoon. But I wanted to see, is there a difference? And there was today. Total number of trades, 17. So let's remember that. Let's just write that down. 17 total trades. That's going to be important to me. I would think that this side would trade fewer, but maybe it trades more. I don't know. The percent profitable today, 47% overall. We played this long and short. The average winning trade, 144. So let's just jot down some of these numbers. You can come back and look at some of this data, but also too, just by showing you this is how we go about isolating a feature to any one of our programs that we might do, how we'll isolate it and then set up kind of a control and a comparison and try to measure it before putting it out to our members. So we're kind of sharing a process here of what we're doing, and we're gonna pour over this tonight and go into more detail. And so here we have it. So the trading period was 4 hours and 31 minutes. Percent of time in the market, 37%. And the longest flat period, 20 minutes. All right. So now we can take a look further at the trade analysis. Average time in trades was 6 minutes. It's kind of interesting. And there might be other things that interest you. But there you have it. And now we want to look at the performance report. And you can see we weren't underwater by much. We were considerably higher, and then we finished right in here. But we spent the bulk of the day on this side, on this control group, using the tiered trailer with what we're calling the smart exit above water. So now let's go up here, and let's remove this symbol. Remove. And let's put in the MNQ. MNQU. Now 10 of them is the exact same leverage. So we're going to be comparing apples to apples for this afternoon. Let's generate a report. Let's not start there. Let's start here. And so this says that it lost $1,000. Once again, it's usually to the penny, so I'm not sure, but we actually did better over here. We didn't lose 1,000. We only lost 875, but we did lose. And we had a total of 17 trades. Same number of trades, same number. Percent profitable, 58%. We only had 40% on the others. Kind of weird, huh? And there you have it. Trading period, 4 hours, 33 minutes. Time in the market, 47%. So it was in the market a little bit longer on average. Let's look at the other trade analysis. Average time in trades on this side was 6 minutes. I would have thought it would have been longer. This side was 7 minutes. It was longer over here. At least it was for this afternoon. Again, I don't want to overstate such a small sample, but what I do want to show is the kind of work and patience and comparison that we can take, that you can take yourself too, when comparing and contrasting not just strategies, but elements of strategies. Maybe it's the clock, maybe it's a profit target, maybe it's both. And you just have to set yourself up to have this sort of comparison. Now let's look at the performance report. This tells me a lot. It really didn't do well, did it? It was underwater right from the get-go. Yes, it worked itself up, but boy, it was underwater much of the day. So just on the basis of today, I would lean, I'd give the edge here. We're going to continue to monitor it and measure it and examine it. It'll be different from market to market, and it may be entirely different on another silo chart, time chart, or point and figure or line break. And we can't possibly know and have a comment on all of that. There are just too many possibilities and permutations. So the bigger message here for everybody is just how to go about, whenever you get a strategy, wherever it might come from, your own, the internet, us, is to first validate that strategy, make sure it's doing what it is described to be doing or is intended to do, and then try to set yourself up a sample, a control, a sample, and measure what it does. And if you can compare and contrast it to some other alternative, then you're in a better position to make, hopefully, a more informed trading decision. Make sense? I'm Baggett on at StockMarketCaddy.com. And if this style of trading interests you, feel free to give us a shout, 813-758-8263. If you are an annual member and you got questions about this, don't hesitate to give me a call, monthly members as well. And annual members, we have the Mod K in its final stages. So expect this program coming your way in probably the next 24 to 48 hours is our goal. So go slow, validate things, and decide for yourself how you might want to go. This will be tiered trailer. This will be a traditional view in the inputs, and this will be a tiered trailer, long and or short, and it'll fall under what we call the smart exits. Have a great day, everybody. And I almost forgot, we totally taped the 4 hours of trading. So we're going to compress the 4 hours of trading down to about a minute to maximize this video, and you'll be able to see the trades going through. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. So the market wasn't moving this fast, but we're going to maximize your time. Have fun, everybody.